There's nothing scarier than getting trapped in a tight corner and not being able to call for help or free yourself. Worst of all, getting trapped in a cold, tight corner with your sibling and no adult in sight. Death can knock at any time, but it's the manner in which it takes that is worrisome. The lives of two young souls were cut short with no explanation given. No murder weapon or suspect, just bodies. On April 22nd of 2018, the screams of curious neighbors and passerby unsettled Akure as the sad news swept through every corner of the city. The people raced to the area to catch a glimpse of what was discovered in this small family home. However, they left with one question in their hearts: who did this? A lady called Oluchi left her two boys, 9-year-old Olufemi and 7-year-old Oluwafufumi, at home to run some errands. She decided to take her youngest child, a 3-year-old, with her. This wasn't her first time she's leaving her kids at home to run errands, so there was nothing unusual about it. There was nothing out of line. She left lunch instructions for them and warned them not to leave the compound and make sure they lock the doors should they decide to take a nap. She also informed them to go to their neighbor next door if they needed something urgently. The boys nodded and looked forward to playing without disturbance since their mom would be away for a while. Who wouldn't love that? So the boys watched TV at first, ate some food, played a little, went outside to play some football, and then neighbors said the yard went quiet after a few minutes, which made them believe that the boys were either taking a nap or watching movies again. But what happened within that time period will forever shock the people. Like I said, this was a normal thing around the area, and no one found it strange that two underage boys were left home alone. Then few hours later, their mother returned home with their younger child but couldn't find her boys. She called out for them severally. They did not show up. She peeped around and then went to neighbor's house to find them, but they were nowhere to be found. One of the neighbors told her that he saw the kids playing in front of their house a few hours ago and he didn't see anything suspicious. It looked normal, the boys were having fun, and he too didn't see any reason to interrupt them. So he later joined the lady in search of the children, but they weren't found. Olubumi, the boys' mother, went back to the house to look around again to see if the boys had returned while she was out looking for them. But again, they were nowhere to be found. By this time, her hormones were raging. At this point, her feelings were all up there. She was not having it. And by this time, she was panicking. She decided to put the items she purchased from the market in the freezer, and that was when she made a shocking discovery. Her two young boys, whom she left home to rush to the market, had suffocated in the freezer. They were lying down there on top of each other with terror written on their faces. According to the position they were found in, there was little room for each of them to move around. That must have been very uncomfortable for them. The woman screamed very loud at the horror, which attracted other neighbors. Shortly, her house was filled with people trooping in and out to see what had happened. The state police were quickly informed and the woman was taken into custody for some questions. When she got there, she narrated her own side of the story, which was corroborated by her neighbors. They testified that this wasn't the first time she's leaving these boys at home for a quick errand. There was a 9-year-old, and she felt like a 9-year-old was old enough to take care of himself for a few hours and also take care of his younger brother. After the police investigation, the police spokesperson confirmed that the woman wasn't under arrest because they didn't suspect any foul play. It appeared as if the kids were playing inside the deep freezer when it locked them in and there was nobody at home to open it for them. They suffocated in it. What happened to these boys will forever remain a mystery. Were they killed and dumped in the freezer, or was it an accident? We will never know. That's it for today's story. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I tell strange, dark and mysterious stories from Nigeria and beyond. Thank you for watching and see you next time.